Hey everybody, ho ho! Hope y'all are having a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday season. Now, I will be wearing this, so if you see me out there at the game tomorrow, say what's up. I'd love to see y'all tomorrow at the Texas versus Clemson first college football playoff game inside DKR. Should be fun. Today we're going to be talking about why Quinn Ewers needs to be the starting quarterback for the Texas Longhorns. Now, there's been a ton of fanfare, a ton of it around Arch Manning, and this is his name. You have guys like Rich Eisen, Joel Klatt, J.D. Pickell. I'm sure that the list just keeps on going on and on and on of media members that are sitting there saying, you know what, the Texas Longhorns, they need to start Arch Manning over Quinn Ewers if they want to make a good run in the college football playoff or they want to win anything. And this is just getting absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to be talking about this in the video. So if you like the video, drop a like on the video, which I'm sure some of y'all probably will not like this video. Some of y'all are not going to like it. But give it a like anyways. Comment down below why you think I'm wrong and tell me how I'm an idiot and I don't know ball. Let it loose down there. And then subscribe to the channel while you're at it. So without further ado, let's just hop right on into it. And let's start off with, I talked about the fanfare with Arch Manning. It's easy to understand why, right? Let's start off with why this is happening. Arch Manning has the Arch Manning name, and he's a player with the talent of Josh Allen. That's a really that's a really optimal situation. Now, as it pertains to this Texas football team and the plays that this Texas football team has installed, right? What they've gone through camp the entire all spring, off season, all summer, all fall, all season leading up to this point, the playbook is optimized for Quinn Ewers, not Arch Manning. No, if Arch Manning plays, they are going to go and they're going to say, "Hey, what are the plays that you like? Let's make this kind of more towards you. Let's fit this system more towards you." Because they are a little bit different quarterbacks. And that's the part that people are just willfully glossing over. That's number one issue, okay? Number two is you start getting into things like this, okay? Let's go to the passing depth. Arch Manning, 1/5 of his passes is going deep. 2/5 of his passes are either going deep or immediate, past 10 yards. And that is a guy that is very confident in his arm. Extremely confident. Maybe a little bit too much to a fault. You saw, and this is also something you see with younger football players, you see a higher average depth of target, meaning they like to take more of the shot throws. They're just out of high school, right? Now, he's not, Arch Manning he's been a redshirt freshman, right? He's been out of high school, but they're still young. They haven't really adjusted to the college game yet. And you've heard Steve Sarkisian talk about this in the past, in past post-game press conferences, where Arch Manning, he says, hey, look, deep ball is all great and all that, right? But I want Arch to start taking some of those checkdowns and start taking some of the under-level stuff, which is really ironic considering one of the biggest gripes that people had about Quinn Ewers was that he was taking too many shots in the red zone and that he was passing up on the under-level stuff that was open. Well, I'm not sure if you remember Georgia. First time we played Georgia, Arch Manning did that exact same thing. Not in the red zone, but he did that exact same thing with the shot to DeAndre Moore with a wide open Isaiah Bond underneath. So, if that's your major gripe, nothing's going to, if that was your gripe with Quinn, it's not going to get better with Arch Manning. It might actually get a little bit worse on that front. Now, some of y'all are going to cling to the, oh, well, look, his completion percentage is 10 points higher and the average the average yards per attempt and all that stuff. I don't really care about that as much. One thing is kind of crazy is Quinn Ewers, the minimum, and let me also say the bottom one is Quinn Ewers if we haven't figured it out. Quinn Ewers in the intermediate game that's where he's the best at. And that's where you see he has a 4-to-4 touchdown interception ratio. This has been a very abnormal year for Quinn Ewers in the intermediate game, but I think a lot of that was struggles early on. A lot of this is tip balls as well. Quinn Ewers is, the confidence is improving, and we're going to look at this too because some fans are saying he's not that confident. This might be the most confident I've ever seen Quinn Ewers on the Texas football team. So let's look at argument number two. A lot of people like to say the legs, right? Arch Manning's legs, because I put out an article on Inside Texas. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. It's free, FREE. I said, hey, and this is also something that you've heard Steve Sarkisian say, multiple times through multiple interviews, which, hey, fellow ball number Steve Sarkisian, what's up, baby? You have the running game is not at all effective right now. It's just not. And here, 1 second. And to kind of show that, here's where Texas ranks in the nation in each category for the runs, and here's where we rank in the pass. Which one do you think is the problem on the offense? Just go ahead and, I mean, it does not take a lot of rocket science here to get this one figured out. In the offense where Steve Sarkisian's offense is predicated on the run needs to be established. When you don't do that, a big part of the offense becomes limited, and a big part of the offense goes away. And that's part of the issue that you've seen, which also, another point, Quinn Ewers is a excellent play-action quarterback. That's where he does best at. When you don't have an effective run game, you take out the effectiveness of the play action. And that's another big issue. So what do people say? They're, oh, well, let's have Arch Manning run, okay? You might go, wow, there's a 67-yard run right there. 26-yard run, 21-yard run, 15-yard run. What are we complaining about, Nash? This is amazing, right? That looks great. All great and all. Oh, wait a second. So if you go and you look at this a little bit deeper, okay, so you're like, well, you just got rid of all the good runs, Nash. How can you do that? What do you notice about where those good runs happen? And where do you notice about all those bad runs happening? When a quarterback has shown the ability to run in a game, it's usually, I mean, it's not a deal where, unless you're Lamar Jackson, you're not just out there hammering the run over and over again and experiencing the same level of effect. Teams are starting to go, oh, I wise up to this. Now we defend this. And what do you see when that happens? 4-yard rush. Now, that is a sack, but yes, that one is the 10-yard sack versus UTSA. Debatable whether he was rushing. The 2 versus Georgia, absolutely not. He was trying to, the second one versus Georgia, that was actually a fumble where he got rid of the ball. But somehow the blame doesn't go for Arch Manning on that one. We're not even we're going to ignore that one. But negative 11 yards, 2 yards, 1 yard, 0 yards, -4, -10. Even if you get rid of the sacks, -4, 0, 1, 2. This idea that just because Arch Manning ran for 5 yards on his first play, right? This whole idea that Arch Manning, because of that, he was going to go, oh, why didn't we use him more in the red zone? We're going to run a lot better. Were we? It's not guaranteed. Nothing in this life is guaranteed. And when you have a good run against teams with a good quarterback that can run, all of a sudden defenses start to honor that. And this is another reason why you hear Steve Sarkisian say this all the time. We are not going to major in the run. Even with how good Arch Manning is running the football, Steve Sarkisian hates running quarterbacks. Absolutely hates it. Despises it. He's disgusted by it, okay? So this brings us to the other issue, and honestly, at this point, I don't even give a shit if this video makes a monetization or it doesn't. We're going to go through and we're going to look at the Quinn Ewers in the red zone, okay? Matthew Golden. And now this isn't all in the red zone, but look, this is my issue. This was viewed as a bad pass to some people. Apparently. I was told Quinn Ewers did not give us a chance to win. I was told that Quinn Ewers did not throw good balls at the goal line or to the end zone. That is, if this happened from, I can think of 10 quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Arch Manning, Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa. The list could go on and on. If any of those quarterbacks made that throw, the glazing would be off the charts. All the blame would be put on the wide receiver. Now, I'm not saying that the wide receiver is at fault. Matthew Golden is sure shit not at fault for not making this catch. That's a hard catch, right? There's some level of adjustment that has to be made. But let's also acknowledge that ball was put in the perfect spot. The only spot where that ball probably could have been caught. Now this one. That's a really accurate target. Horrible idea. Horrible throw. Okay, we're going to be objective here. That's not what you want to be doing as a quarterback at Texas. And look, you see Steve Sarkisian. You can't be doing that shit, right? This one, not a great target. You want the ball in a different spot. Now, to 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 the Texas Longhorns' credit and to Quinn Ewers' credit, this may be the case. He may have thrown the ball in the right spot, and DeAndre Moore may have run to the wrong spot. We don't know. We're not in the room. We're not going to be able to know. But I'm willing to acknowledge and say that was not a good throw. That's not what you want. Okay. And then let's go to this one, which probably without a pass interference, this is a game winner right here. This is a good idea to pass interference. I mean, especially in college, because in the NFL, the ball is on the goal line after this throw. I mean, when people are saying that Quinn Ewers is out there having, he's not looking confident, throwing the ball poorly. I mean, look at this. He's putting the ball. That one, I'm gonna go different than the DeAndre Moore one, and I know this is where people are gonna disagree with me. I think that was okay target, and the reason why is because Quinn Ewers put that ball to where only Matthew Golden is a really good wide receiver, really tall, really good hands, and he put that ball where if Golden comes down with it, it's a touchdown, and if Golden doesn't, it's not a touchdown. This one to not Golden to Wingo. To Wingo. I was saying Wingo. I meant to say Golden. This one's to Golden. That's a touchdown right there. This is beautiful placement of the ball. It's just really good defense. It's just excellent defense. And then I don't have this one on there, but give me 1 second to go ahead and get it added on, because this was the very first one. Now this one also, let me go ahead and say, was wiped away from a holding call. Had this one wiped away. That's 2 hands on the ball. If the ball was maybe 1 or 2 inches too far, whatever, fine. I've seen a million throws from Arch like that this year. So if you want to sit there and say that it's going to be so much better with Arch Manning in there, I do not see how that could happen. And too many people are willfully ignoring signs that just are not good. And then here's the other thing. If Arch Manning struggles, similar to Quinn, the blame doesn't go on Arch. Hell no. Blame goes on Steve Sarkisian and the rest of the offense. So, I want Quinn Ewers to be a starting quarterback. Now, I know, look, hey, I'm just one Texas fan. But the rest of you Texas fans, the rest of y'all people that are sitting there saying, hey, we need to start Arch Manning and all that crap, it ain't going to happen. I'm very glad we have Steve Sarkisian as our coach, and he doesn't really let this outside noise bother him too much. Sark's going to win this game how Texas is supposed to win this game. And if we lose by how he set up this team, then we lose. It is what it is. Accept the results. Accountability. Love it. All right, everybody. Hope you all have a great day, and hope we get a win tomorrow. Hook 'em.